Okay, recording. Ready?
Yeah. Good evening and welcome to another episode of The Spin. It's been a little while. We will be getting our international version going very soon. We're just trying to get all the people from all over the world onto the same time zone and same time, and it's been a little bit difficult, but everybody's quite excited about it. Today, though, we have our old stand-in, Neville Anderson. How are you, mate?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
That's good. Nice to have you along again. What we're going to do today is talk about Bali. Have you been to Bali, Nev?
No, not as yet.
So we can't sing that song, I've been to Bali too, or anything
No.
like that? No, okay. I haven't
Never been there.
I haven't been there either. Now, one of the problems with getting a tour to Bali is the fact that there's not a lot of accessible stuff around, you know. But we've been contacted by someone who was watching the spin, Marshall, and he has some accessible rooms over there. And by accessible, I mean they've got hoists into the bed, they've got hoists into the pool.
That sounds good.
Got their own car, they've got absolutely everything. And what we've decided to do is work with them and create a package for our customers. We're just organising it, hopefully, with him. We want to use a system now called PEAT packages, P-E-A-T. Nev, and that stands for Personally Escorted Accessible Tours. Now, we do our big tours, you know, with 20 or 30 people or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of places like Bali where there's only 3 rooms. So you can't take 20 people there, can you really?
No.
But you might want to go, or a family might want to go, or you and I might want to go. So instead of just sort of saying to people, well, sort it out yourself, we're giving them the full tour experience. Just like if they're on a big tour, only it can just be a family or a couple of people or whatever. They'll have their own personalised tour guide. They'll have their own car. They'll have an itinerary with a little bit of flexibility in it, hopefully. And you really will get the whole tour experience with a PEAT package from Anywhere on Wheels. And we're quite excited about it. I'm just looking at my notes here. Not only will you get the same guide all the way through and so on, but you'll also get the Anywhere on Wheels app, where people have gone before you and said, here's where the nearest accessible hairdresser is, or the nearest accessible florist if you want to buy your lady some flowers or something there. It's, you know, it's a great way of opening up the world to have a whole tour, but just for a small amount of people, but you still have all the security. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
All right, well, we spoke to Marshall. They've got 3 rooms in all, 2 in one resort, 1 in another. And that was a little bit confusing in the beginning, but there are 3 rooms. And we are going to put a PEAT package to Bali with 10 or 14 days activities and so on. So let's just have a listen to what Marshall had to say. We're very happy tonight to be talking to Marshall from Penyaringan. I'll get that right in a minute. In Bali. G'day, Marshall. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Very good. How
That's
are you?
great. I'm good. We've got a few little technical gremlins, but everything's working out all right. So you're in Bali.
Yeah. That's correct. In Sanur in Bali.
Okay, where is that exactly?
Opposite, well, it's the southern end of the island where most of the tourist area is. And we're sort of 30 minutes from Kuta. Everybody knows
right.
Kuta.
Yeah.
So Denpasar city is in between Kuta and Sanur. Sanur is like the original resort of Bali. The Dutch originated it, and it's really, I suppose, more accessible than most of the rest of Bali, although it's not wonderfully accessible. But it tends to be frequented by a lot of middle-aged and elderly people, because it is a sort of quieter place.
But you can get to all the action spots if you want to.
Sorry?
You can get to all the action places if you want to.
Oh yes, you can. You can.
Okay.
Not advisable to stay there, but because there aren't many places over there. But certainly the nightlife and everything is over there. So we do get young guys that with their mates and they're in a wheelchair and they go off over there and get into the girls and the drink and then roll it back in there, fall out of their wheelchairs at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I've fallen out of my wheelchair a couple of times and I don't even drink, mate. But anyway, look, so you're happy to welcome anyone, whether it be people that are a little elderly or young people. Everyone's welcome at Penyaringan.
Yeah, all kinds.
Say it properly for me. How do you say it?
Penyaringan. Accessible Penyaringan.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, you said to me that you were in a wheelchair once.
Yes, well, I had a stroke back in 2007, bad stroke, and I was in a wheelchair for quite a while. And then, gradually with tablets and physiotherapy and learning how to talk again and all that sort of thing, I eventually got out of a wheelchair and I hobble around with a stick now.
Is that what inspired you to make part of your resort accessible?
No. What actually happened, my first wife had a thing called PSP, which is progressive supranuclear palsy. And we built the villa for her actually. So it was built as accessible with no steps. And then, during her sort of late life, we decided that we had too big a villa and we'd start renting out 1 or 2 bedrooms. And so we have a few people from UK and Australia and places that would stay. Then eventually my wife unfortunately passed away. I then decided, I'm not going to live in the villa anymore. I'll rent the whole place. And so gradually it's progressed into, accessible accommodation. And I remarried again in 2010 with Ferry, and Ferry runs Accessible Penyaringan, which is a 2-bedroom property. One of the bedrooms is fully accessible with electric doors, rolling bathroom, rolling wet bathroom, ramps and so on.
You've got lifts and everything.
Yeah, we got hoists and shower wheelchairs, pressure mattress, beach wheelchair. Yeah, there's nothing much we haven't got.
That's
so
fantastic.
And we got an electric hoist to get people in the pool.
Now, that's very important in Bali. Now, you've said that one room is fully accessible. What are the other 2 like?
No, well, actually, the villa's got 3, and 2 of them are fully accessible.
Right.
But Accessible Penyaringan has got 2 rooms with only 1 fully accessible. The other one is accessible, the bathroom's not. So really, we found there was a need for singles just with their carer or their 2 carers, or we've had one guy had 6 carers because he needed 24 hours,
that
attendance.
happens sometimes.
But so over the years, we found that lots of singles want to come, they want a cheap price, and they need another room for their carer or for their parents or whatever.
So in essence, there's 3 accessible rooms, correct? In all.
Sorry?
There's 3 accessible rooms in all.
No, I think you might be a bit confused. There is Accessible Villa G, which is a villa that has 3 bedrooms, 2 of them accessible.
Okay,
with roll-in bathrooms.
Yep.
Accessible Penyaringan, which is another property, has 2 bedrooms, one of which is accessible with a roll-in bathroom. And we've really learned from Accessible Villa G, where we sort of modified it as we went along. We had it sort of accessible from the point of view of footbaths and getting wheelchairs around, but and we only had 1 bathroom originally that was accessible. And so we gradually improved it over the years. But then with the Accessible Penyaringan, we've learned everything, and we've learned all the pitfalls and what we really need and what people have advised us to do and so on. And so we made a place that's pretty well perfect, I think.
Well, that's fantastic. Go on.
Yeah, we get lots of people from Australia come up here and say, there's nothing like this in Australia. You should be in Australia.
Well,
So,
I'm glad you're in Bali. And the thing is that I think nearly every Australian in particular wants to go to Bali. The old song, I've been to Bali too. Well, I haven't yet. So I'll have to come over and have a bit of a look if we can. But look, let's go back to when they arrive at the airport. One of the biggest fears of traveling, you get to the airport, you're in a foreign country. How do we get to you?
Yeah. What we do, there are two companies with vans with lifters. So they one's got a Hi-Ace and one's got an Isuzu. Both of them take 5 people plus a wheelchair, or it can be a combination of wheelchairs. They do our transport from the airport. They also do all our tours, day tours and trips around. We only use our van within Sanra. So our van is really to take people to the beach, to restaurants, shopping, because we have found it's hot here as it is in Thailand. And some people in a manual wheelchair are burnt to death after they've gone a few hundred yards in the sun. So much easier to, ferry. My wife just...
we did have a picture of that car up. Have you got it again there, Carl? Is that possible? And, I mean, that's a big relief to people to know that you'll pick them up at the airport and you'll probably have a sign with their name in or something like that. So they don't need to worry at all when they arrive. Now,
no worry. We've never lost anybody yet.
Well, that's a good thing. Now, the other thing, once they get there, as you said, you're not far from Kuta, you're not far from all sorts of places, and I'm sure you've got lots of places and activities you recommend. Can they use the car to get to those activities?
We don't take that car outside of Sanra area. The reason is that Ferry, my wife, drives it with her assistant. We have 2 people because putting the ramp down and so on. So we use local accessible travel companies to take people to Kuta or Nusa Dua or where.
But they're available, obviously.
Yeah, they're
and are
available.
They expensive?
Well, they are. Sort of $1 million a day, which would be $100 Aussie a day
for the whole
just
day.
Over.
Yeah. In Aussie, around about what are your rooms in Australian dollars? In high season.
Yeah, in high season, what we do actually, Rod, is for the first person, we call the first person, which is the person with special needs or whatever, we charge about $88 a night in high season. And then for subsequent people, we only charge $45 a night. And we charge them in rupiah, but it's Aussie dollars, 45 a night. The reason being that we found over the years, all the equipment needs a lot of maintenance, a lot of care. Linac batteries, batteries go dead on you all of a sudden. You have to courier them up from Australia. All the equipment's imported. Unfortunately, there's no government facility to give us back the VAT or the customs duty or whatever. So it is quite a large expense. And so therefore, unfortunately, we charge the first person, which is normally a disabled person, a little bit more.
Okay.
That's during high season, which is only June, July, August, and the Christmas, New Year period. The rest of the time, it drops down to about $75 a night for the first person, and $35 for each subsequent person.
Now, if someone wanted to come and stay for 2 or 3 months, is that rate negotiable on a long term?
Oh yes, yeah, we do. We contact the people and we normally negotiate a rate with them. We like to keep it personal. Everybody's different. They've all got different needs. and they all want different equipment. And so, it's so easy to deal just with travel companies, but travel companies only want to take your order, right? Here's the booking.
You're there now, work it out for yourself.
Work it out for yourself. And they say, well, we're vegetarians, we're vegans, we're expecting a vegan breakfast, and you're supposed to have this equipment, that equipment, and we weren't told by the agent where to go, and so on. So it's good when people contact us direct, because then the emails go back and forth. And then we can ask them things like, what size sling are you? If you're, a large size sling, better you bring around. We had a guy recently that was only 35 kilos. He just couldn't fit in any sling. He was so small, they just fell out. Even our pool hoist and sling, he couldn't use it. But fortunately, he was light enough that we were able to carry him in the pool.
You could throw him into the pool at 35 kilo, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm sure he had a heck of a time, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because life is all about enjoying yourself.
Sorry?
Life is all about enjoying yourself and making the most of it.
That's it. Well, he really enjoyed himself, and as you can see from the website, we've got some pretty good references.
Now,
so,
if someone wanted to come for 2 or 3 weeks, what sort of things can they do other than stay at the hotel? What sort of things are there to do in Bali? I've never been there.
Yeah. Well, we find that most people, they like to go on day tours, not one day after the other. They like to have one day at the villa, the next day on a tour. And so there are various sort of temples to visit. Water Bomb, that's a water park which is fully accessible. It's Australian run, I think. There's Bird Park, Bali Zoo, Safari Park, numerous things to do. Also things like Kechak dance, I forgot what dances, and local sort of community dances that are put on. So yeah, there's quite a lot to do and see. Quite a lot of traveling, swimming with dolphins. There's even accessible diving, cookery classes. Cookery classes only just up the road from us.
Cookery classes are often quite popular, aren't they?
Yeah. It's surprising how many people actually. I was surprised how many people attend a cookery class.
Now tell me. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't got the list in front of me, but there's we've got quite a list of accessible places people could go.
It sounds to me like a heck of a
cool
holiday, really. I mean, plenty of things to do.
Oh yeah. Well, we've got a French family coming in August, and they want to go out nearly every day. So I've had to describe actually each individual tour, and so with pictures and so on. So it's been quite a job doing that. But of course, people come from far away. They don't even know where Bali is, let alone all the cultural things and all the nightlife and restaurants and food that there is here. It's a bit like Thailand.
Communication? How much English is spoken, for example?
Yeah, quite a lot of English. Most people speak English. It's really a holiday island, so most of the young people are in the hotel business, and they're taught English at school, and most of them very good English. Not a problem, really. Not a problem.
And you've touched a couple of times on the world famous Bali nightlife, the nightclubs and the bars and everything. Is it as much fun as they say? I know we're a bit older, but it sounds like it's an enjoyable place to be.
No, it is good fun. It's just really, the transport, the accessible transport companies, they're pretty good, and they're willing to stay out late at night and bars that are accessible.
So if you needed to, you can say, look, I'll give you a little bit extra, but can you pick me up at 3 a.m.?
Yeah. Well, they do charge by the hour, actually. So,
okay.
but it can be done.
Well, listen, I think we should get over there soon, and maybe we'll do a spin program from the resort,
Yeah.
and we'll let people
Good.
know all over the world that they can come to Bali.
Yeah. Well, you're very welcome to come and take a look and, take a video or whatever. And, come and stay. And my lovely wife will look after you. And,
Is
you'll
she
think
there?
we're in paradise. Huh?
Is she there now, your lovely wife?
Oh, yes, she is.
I
Just
think
a
she
moment,
should
I'll
come and
get
say
her.
hello.
Yeah. Babe, Larry, can you come? Please. They want to see you.
Oh, my God. Hello, Chloe, is it?
No, Ferry.
Ferry.
F-E-R-I, Ferry.
Hi,
Ferry, how are you, Ferry?
I'm good.
Say hello to all the people around the world that are in wheelchairs that want to come to Bali now. Okay, don't hide. Come over here a bit. Come on. We can't see you. All right. Well, we'll bring a lot of people to come and see you, and you can look after them all for us, okay?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much.
be
Did you two meet
fun.
each other in Bali or not?
No, in Surabaya, East Java.
Okay.
After my stroke, I went back to Surabaya to work a couple of days a week, and then met Ferry at the airport, and she was waiting for VIPs for a hotel, and one thing led to another, and
Here
we are.
And now she's your
Here we
VIP.
are. We've got the same idea to please all these people to get a good holiday in Bali.
That's fantastic. We're going to come over and visit fairly soon, and we want to thank both of you for being on the spin. Thank you for everything you're doing for people with mobility impairment.
Okay, thank you. Nice
care,
to talk
mate.
to you. I've watched the program before. Never thought I'd be actually on it.
Thank
Okay.
you. Well, you are. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, Rob. Okay,
Okay.
Carl. Cheers.
And that was Marshall and Ferry. They're nice people.
Yeah, they look all right.
And, well, they're nice people no matter how they look. She looks better than him. No, I can't say that anymore. Stop that. Okay. Now, that makes me want to go to Bali. What about you?
I'm interested in looking. See what
Yeah,
it's like.
seeing something new, new
Yeah.
cultures, all that kind of thing.
Culture.
But I think the
wheelchair.
P tour is the way to do it. Because, they don't have a lot of rooms, so just a nice, easy P tour is a good way of doing it. And some of the things I've looked up to see that you can do a reef cruise. I'm just having a look. You can do wheelchair surfing, like they'll take you out on their boards and everything.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be kind of fun. They did the Bali Zoo night experience, and they've got a natural hot spring as well, which I love. I love natural hot springs, and heaps more. So putting together a P tour should be a lot of fun,
Yeah, it would be.
and getting out to Bali and having a bit of a look around. Because we're having a great time here, but there's nothing like travelling the world and meeting new people and all that, is there really?
That's why I like living here. You meet all different people from different countries.
That's right. And it's a great thing in a way, it's terrible to say, that Marshall had been in a wheelchair, because that would give him a lot more insight into what's needed.
It gives them an idea.
Yeah, and she seemed like she had a lot of empathy as well.
Didn't she say she worked at a resort or something?
She worked at a resort, it wasn't necessarily in a disabled one, but she seemed to have a lot of empathy for people. So, look, that's Bali, and we will be adding a Bali P tour, I would say, in January of 2020. So you can email us at admin or info at anywhere on wheels, and we will let you know .com, anywhereonwheels.com, and we will let you know all the information we've got and keep you up to date as we go. Neville, thanks again for being part of our program today,
No problem.
and we'll see you again next week with the girls from overseas.
Wait.
And what's that? Don't know if I want to know. No. You've been a very good boy today. We've never done a morning show. You haven't had a beer.
Yeah, I know. Got to wait till 3 o'clock.
It's a worry. It's 3 o'clock in America now.
Yeah, well, that's it. Oh, it's 3 o'clock in the show, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh. No, Nev. It's only one.
That's a pub zone.
There's no daylight saving either. Anyway, thanks guys for being with us, and we'll see you again. Oh, I tell you what, Carl's going to poke me because we've forgotten to play the ad from one of our major sponsors, which is of course the people that will take you all over the world. Hello World. Hello World Travel Harvey Bay is Anywhere on Wheels preferred travel agent in Australia. Call Joe and the gang and they'll fix you up with a great deal. Book with the knowledge that you're booking with Australia's largest travel agency group. Remember, with Anywhere on Wheels and Hello World Travel, you're never alone. It's loads of fun travelling, and Hello World make it safe, secure, and make it nice and easy as well. Thank you again for joining us on The Spin. We'll see you again next week.